Can you guys see my outfit? I dressed up for you guys to celebrate our ever second encounter. Also, I'm talking about fashion today, so I thought I would try to dress kind of nice so that I'm not just some hypocrite on your phone screen. Hey guys, welcome back. This is Evil Taurus. My name is David. This is a show where I talk about whatever I want because it's my internet show where I talk about internet things. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Um, this is my second ever episode, so I'm still figuring this out, but I'm very excited. My last episode was really fun, and I got a lot of good feedback from friends, which is always good. But yeah, I'm just excited to keep doing these and be consistent with it. I think consistency in anything you do is key. That's just some free life advice for you guys. Um, but yeah, so I'm so excited to be back. I dressed up for you guys for this episode because I'm talking about fashion, and I wanted you to see that I'm not just some man on your phone screen giving you opinions. He can actually pull a look. Well, I guess that's for you to decide. Whatever. So yeah, welcome back. I actually wanted to start this episode by talking about the crazy weather that's been happening here in the Bay Area. So, I live in the Bay Area. I've been here for like a year and a half, and the weather this past like 2 weeks has actually been insane. Like 2 weeks ago, I woke up to a tsunami warning. Literally a tsunami warning, like was gonna hit me. And the way that I did not move, I didn't do a single thing, guys. Like I was actually, yeah, like I got the alert on my phone and was like, well, if this is the end, then who am I to get in the way of God's plan? Um, so I did not try to move to higher ground. Some people who I go to school with did try and they did like evacuate and move to higher ground, which is always great. I didn't though, because one thing about me is I'm not going to try to survive. I'm not a survivor. I'm not gonna get like into a ragtag group of people who are trying to survive the end of times. If the end of times do come, I will just simply lay in my room until the Wi-Fi stops working. And then when the Wi-Fi stops working, I'll just, I don't know, take a nap or something. Like, talking about like survival guys in the end of times, I have been sort of flooded with the drone content of the drones flying over New Jersey, which I think people are blowing way out of proportion, in my opinion. Like, there is no goddamn alien flying over your head, especially in New Jersey, girl. Like, what are the aliens gonna go do in New Jersey? Like, the only things I know about New Jersey are from what I watched on The Real Housewives of New Jersey. And I don't think the aliens are going there for that. I don't think they're going there for the housewife content. I don't think they're going there for. I don't even know what happens in New Jersey, guys. Like, I really don't know what happens there. Besides, like, Guidos and um, Italians. You know, it's a really big month for Italians, actually. So maybe the aliens are going there because they love Italy and they love Italian culture. So they want to go straight to New Jersey. But yeah, no, if there was an army fleet of aliens flying over New Jersey, I think we would know about it. So I think yes, I think everyone needs to calm down actually. Like there's no aliens. There's definitely something sketch going on. have you guys seen that meme of the girl where she's like, it's time to smoke a schmunt and expose the government? That's what I feel like on this podcast right now, guys. I'm gonna expose the government for what they're doing in New Jersey. Um, Honestly, though, I saw this tweet where it was like, could you imagine if the aliens came down and the first sort of human interaction they had was with people in New Jersey? That would be too much. I actually have only been to New Jersey once, and it was when I flew into New York last year. And I flew into Newark, and I think that's in New Jersey. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. Um, and I would hate it too. If I was an alien and that's the first thing I saw was Newark Airport, I get back on my plane and I would fly out of here. I would light speed out of here because that airport is just awful. Um, but yeah, I don't think I think we have bigger fish to fry than obsessing over some military drones that are flying over New Jersey. Take a shot every time I said the word New Jersey. Honestly, guys, there's bigger things to live for. Like, for example, this weekend, I was at an event here in the city and they had an open bar, um, which is always great. I love an event where it's free entry and free open bar, and it's only ever on the corporate dollar, which I love spending the corporate dollar. Shout out to SF Programs. I think it's also like, um, I forget her TikTok username, but it's like SF Cowboy and like Bonita something. Oh my God. I will literally link um all the creators who I follow on TikTok for like cool nightlife events in San Francisco. But on Saturday I went to like this Nike Run Club like set, and like a really, no shade, it was a really sort of interesting part of San Francisco. Like, if you know anything about the city, like some parts near Market Street, like towards City Hall, are like kind of sketch. Um, but that's how you know the party was gonna be good. You know, that's how you know like the dystopianism of it all was like gonna hit. I feel like people don't really take San Francisco to be like a party city, or I guess that's just sort of my impression. For most cities in California, I feel like people aren't really like thinking like, "Ooh, California, that's a good place to go party." Um, Also, just like knowing the things that I know about LA and like LA culture, so many like events there and super early. Um, and it's sort of the same depending on where you go, honestly. But I feel like it's been a really big thing of mine this year to like expand my sort of music taste. So having a lot of fun with that. Had a really good fun. I had took like a bunch of friends. We all went together, and we actually on accident ran into more people there who we knew. So overall, 10 out of 10, great vibes. There was this one girl who was photographing for the event there, and she was taking like the most like nonchalant pictures I've ever seen a photographer at an event take. She was literally like holding up the camera, not even looking, mind you, to the viewfinder, just going. And you know what? I aspire to be that level of unbothered. Um, and yeah, but honestly, guys, on the topic of open bars, I have a confession to make. I feel like I don't have a grown up drink order. Like, I'm not adult enough yet, or I feel like I'm slowly getting there. But like, I feel like if I go to a bar, I have like the hardest time like picking a drink that isn't something that I would get when I was like 21. Like, when you're 21, it's very much like the AMFs and um like the vodka Red Bulls. And I need to stop drinking vodka Red Bulls because it's bad for me and I'm gonna literally like end up in a creek somewhere. So I started ordering like tequila sodas. because I saw a TikTok somewhere that said if you drink tequila, like you'll live longer. Um, don't quote me on that, okay? Don't drink at all. God. Guys, I have a bone to pick. Like a major bone to pick with people right now. With two people actually in particular. Um, my faves over at Emergency Intercom. Everyone who's I feel like my For You page is so like specific to me, so I don't know what other people are listening to. But I, over the past year, have become obsessed with the podcast Emergency Intercom with Drew and Enya. And I've also separately have become really obsessed with Heaven by Marc Jacobs, which I know I'm super late to the trend. Like Heaven was like a big thing during COVID because but like honestly guys, during like COVID times, I knew nothing about like anything like fashion related. So like I just wasn't around. Like in the zeitgeist, I wasn't paying attention to like designer clothing because I could barely afford to like buy a bag of rice. I wasn't like on the Sense website like looking up drops. We had other priorities, okay? Um but um but anywho, over the last year I've become like super not like super obsessed, but I do have a couple of Heaven pieces and I was like, "Oh my god, Emergency Intercom, Heaven, I need this collab." And I know that it wasn't like up to them, like how many things were like gonna be in stock, but I wish they would have said when the drop was going to drop online because I was trying to get like a guesstimation, but they didn't put a time frame on when the collection was going to drop. I was literally on the bus on my way to the gym, and it was, mind you, it was like I want to say like 7:30 a.m. here. Um, so it was pretty early, and when I checked that early, everything was already sold out. So I was like, oh, okay. And I don't know why in my head I was like, oh, I'll probably just like the collection will probably drop at 12, like noon. Anywho, maybe I just didn't do enough research into the whole thing, but I was really upset and everything was sold out. But honestly, it was probably for the best because like I don't need to be spending money like that right now. But I'm just like super like upset because I really wanted to get my hands on specifically the white like baby crop tee or the friendship necklace. Um because I was not gonna spend all that money to buy that hoodie. But it was super cute designs, and I don't know, it's just like really like I have a piece of their merch already. I am a fanboy. Um, but it would have been nice to sort of combine my two worlds of favorite things. But you know what? We persevere, we move forward, we are who we are. Um, but honestly, like, guys, I have think I've chosen the worst time on planet Earth to start something. Well, I guess not really, but like I I'm not sure, guys. Like, I'm a little bit spooked by this TikTok ban, and I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I really hope that like it all works out fine, but like all of my sort of academic backgrounds and like my sort of journalistic tinglings tell me that TikTok is gonna get banned. So I feel like everyone's just sort of operating in a mass state of denial. And I'm sure we'll start seeing the 5 stages of grief soon. So I would sort of be on the lookout for that because people are going to go to that pretty soon, you know? Like, I think, like, after Christmas, I feel like people right now are really caught up with, like, the aliens and the Italian who killed that one guy. So, you know, I feel like in the culture, we're just kind of, like, all over the place. But I feel like things are going to get very spooky on the TikTok app pretty soon. And I'm honestly kind of bummed out about it because I love going on TikTok. Like, it is such a like place of connection. I know that sounds strange, but like, but also I think in that note, I've been trying to sort of extend my digital footprint to other places. Like I've been trying to get back on Tumblr, follow me on Tumblr. I've been trying to get more onto like Instagram. Like I'm a really big fan of Instagram, and I wish more people used Instagram because I love sharing like photos and but like Instagram Reels, just like their algorithm is just like not it's never gonna come close to the algorithm on TikTok. And also the problem with Instagram Reels is that like people are too afraid to show them being like quirky or like funny, or like show them being like, I don't know, just like in the moment, because Instagram is such a curated app, and your Reels account being attached to your like main profile, I think is what puts a lot of people off, because they don't want to come off in like not a perfectly curated manner. And I think we need to leave behind the era of being perfectly curated, if I'm being honest. Um, I think that sort of goes in hand with like the indie sleaze renaissance of it all. Because you can't do indie sleaze and also be perfectly curated. Like those things are not like hand in hand. Like if you really want to get into like the flash photography at a party with like glitter in your eyes, you can't like perfectly time those photos and like perfectly position yourself and like falling out of a bathtub. Like those things have to be caught organically. And I feel like you can tell when those things aren't done organically, and it just sort of adds like this corporate capitalistic, like you're trying to sell me something. And I feel like people can see right through it, and that's sort of what like Instagram Reels feels like. It feels like the like it feels like the monetized version of TikTok in a sense, where like it's just not as funny, you know, and it's not as organic, and it's not as human, and that's really sad. And I hope that Mark Zuckerberg hears this and he fixes the algorithm. Hey Sucky. No, honestly, talking about indie sleaze, like something that has been on my mind a lot recently. I think it's also just because of the holiday season is coming up and people are really just like into buying things right now. Is sort of like the the way that TikTok has ruined the art of having personal style, and just sort of, I don't know, like the art of being unique within itself. I feel like people aren't doing things anymore for like a sense of like uniqueness, but more so in a sense of like, oh, I'm doing this because other people on my For You page are doing it, and I want to fit in, and I want to look cool, and I want to like be on the latest trend. That's sort of how I feel about this revival of indie sleaze, because people have been saying for like the past like maybe like 2 years that indie sleaze is coming back. And I feel like I was one of the people who have been saying that. I mean, I've been telling people in my life, like, guys, indie sleaze is going to come back. Like, the American Apparel of it all is going to be huge. And I feel like it is, but only the bad things of that era are coming back. Like, the zeitgeist around sort of like body image and thinness, and sort of, you know how like indie sleaze was centered around like white people in parties like wearing like sheer clothing, like that sort of aspect of it is like coming back. I guess like thinness culture is coming back, so that's like also really problematic. um but I feel like the one thing that like like that makes indie sleaze not work in sort of like a more modern sense is that people are too like chronically online to be indie sleaze. Like a big sort of part of indie sleaze was like going to parties and just only having like your flash like digital camera on you and like nothing else, right? Like people weren't filming like TikToks, or like, I guess, I mean, it wasn't around, but like you get what I'm saying, right? Like it just it wasn't meant to be put like online as much as things are now. So like for that sense, I feel like it's already not going to work. Um, but I mean, we are sort of like inching towards that. I mean, with like with like the whole like Brat Charlie XCX summer, that was very indie, like sleazy of like everyone to do. Everyone was walking around in sheer tights and like a tank top and like black smudge eyeliner, taking like flash photography photos. Um, but everyone's just trying to recreate Brat. Like people are just trying to do Charlie XCX. Like they aren't doing it because they want to do that. They're doing it because it's popular. It's like in the mainstream. Um, and I feel like sort of like the coolness of it all and like the undergroundness of it all is like not there at all. It's like if like we're trying to like corporatize like the indie sleaze like sort of like feel, um which I guess to a sense that's kind of what American Apparel was to some degree, but like not fully. um but anywho, enough talk about indie sleaze, guys. But I could talk about it forever. Like, I mean, come on, cheetah print and like skins or skims skin, what is the name of that show? Isn't it Skins, the UK version? I mean, it's that. It's Tumblr. It's Arctic Monkeys. It's like Doc Martens and Rip Tights and like All Black and like Tuvalu habits playing in the background. And, you know, like you're like smoking like an entire pack of Marlboro Reds. And exactly, guys, I need to like not do a thumbs up because the camera picks it up. No, guys, I feel like we take TikTok trends at face value all the time without doing like more research into them and like how they fit into our sort of personal lives. Like, I know a bunch of people who saw that Emma Chamberlain video where she like got rid of all her clothes and then had like a minimal wardrobe. And then people on TikTok were like, oh my God, I have to go throw away all of my clothes and only have like 3 shirts and a pair of jeans and like 2 pairs of shoes. And, you know, I think there is sort of a benefit to sort of underconsumption because I feel like we do live in such a state of like life right now where everything is about overconsumption. Like you're always constantly being pushed to buy something and you're always being served ads and Instagram ads and YouTube ads and TikTok ads, and the TikTok shop wants you to buy this viral like dress, and you go on Facebook and there's more ads, and you go out in real life and there's more ads. So I feel like we're always being pushed to sort of buy things. So I feel like, you know, there is some sort of positive benefit and, you know, under consumption for sure. But that doesn't mean you should go and donate all your clothes and only live off like 3 shirts. Because realistically, for the average person, that's not going to work out in your favor if you only have like basics in your closet and nothing else. Because life as like an average like person is way more unpredictable than life for like an influencer like Emma Chamberlain. And I feel like people need to understand that. I feel like you're put as like an average person, you're put in more sort of unpredictable sort of things. Like what are you gonna do if you have to go to a job interview and you only have like a basic black t-shirt and a pair of jeans? Like, and you have like no business casual wear, and you have like nothing to wear to the office Christmas party. Or what if it like gets like super rainy and you don't have a raincoat because you sold it? Or like, you know, like I feel like it's important. Also, I feel like the like mega influencers who can afford to have like capsule wardrobes can also afford like really high quality pieces of like clothing that last a long time. I feel like the average person, like you buy something at like an H&M or like a Zara, that piece of garment is gonna last you maybe like 2-3 years before it starts falling apart, like literally falling off the bone. And it's just not the trend that you want to be following. It's just not, in my opinion, it's not something you should be doing. I mean, I think it is sort of like the same conversation people have every single year where it's like, oh, here's like your perfect fall capsule wardrobe and your winter capsule wardrobe and your spring capsule wardrobe. And every single year you're expected to have like the newest on trend pieces in your said capsule wardrobe. And like the whole part about having a capsule wardrobe is that it's the same year round. And that's sort of how I operate in my closet. Um, like there's things that obviously if I don't wear, like if I don't wear a certain piece of clothing for like, more than a year, I will tend to like put it away and then, put it in a pile to like donate. But I feel like I like all of my clothes enough to the point where I will wear things like all the time. Like things that I love to wear, I'll constantly keep wearing over and over again. And I do have some pieces of clothing that I have that I only wear like during like the wintertime. Like I have like thicker wool coats that I only wear when it gets cold. I'm obviously gonna not going to wear those during the summertime, like they're put away. Like, but I wouldn't get rid of them just because I'm not wearing them. Um, and I feel like so it's good to have those sort of things that you can like put away, like your thicker jackets for winter, and then you bring them out, and then so you're not like always wearing the same things because you have like your like I like to say it's like you have like your winter wardrobe, and then you have like your like summer spring wardrobe, and so. But I feel like we definitely shouldn't be going out and throwing away all our clothes just because Emma Chamberlain said that she did. I don't think it's productive. Also, like, what if the economy gets really bad in 6 months and you can't afford to go buy new clothes, huh? Just saying. I think also like a sort of bad thing about like the TikTok like style trends of it all is that like so many influencers are constantly pushing you to buy things that they themselves don't wear. And I feel like you can see that a lot on TikTok where it's like it'll be like these like style influencers who are only pushing you like Amazon affiliate links and like things to use with their own discount code. So it's not like things that they would wear or things that they love to wear. It's things that they want to push you to wear. And I feel like we need to start being more sort of critically aware of when that is sort of happening. I feel like that happens all the time in the beauty space where these influencers will go and constantly push you products that they themselves would never use, right? And there is no penalty for lying, right? Like if an influencer gets on an app and they're being paid by an advertising agency to sort of be like, hey, can you promote my product? And if they're getting paid, they're not going to go and lie to their audience that they're being paid like thousands of dollars, right? They're going to be like, oh, yes, I love this product, guys. You should all go use it. And I feel like people were not there the way that I was there during like the 2016 YouTube like beauty guru era of it all, where so many people on that app were being paid like ridiculous amounts of money to promote like beauty products, which half the time said influencers would never use those products. So I'm just saying, guys, like we like y'all need to like tighten up, right? Like y'all need to be really careful about where you spend your money and what you're buying, because I feel like half the time people are so quick to buy like the latest TikTok viral like insert blank item here, only for it to go out of style within like a week and a half, and then the new sort of like insert blank item here goes viral like the next month. So I'm just saying, like I feel like enough is enough, guys. Enough is enough. I feel like though you can always tell when I love following like fashion influencers. You can tell that like they themselves dress like how they want to dress every single day, and they make videos like out of pure just wanting to show off like the way that they put together outfits. I feel like whenever I make a TikTok that shows off an outfit, it's because I genuinely love what I have on, but also I feel like I have nothing to gain, right, from posting these outfit videos on TikTok, because I'm like not in any like shape or form like being paid, and I don't think I don't know, I'm just like not there. And so like whenever I make like a TikTok like showing something that I'm wearing, it's because I love what I'm wearing. But also I feel like you can see that I only wear like I have like my pieces that I love and that I'll probably keep wearing until the day that I like die. But I don't know. I'm like a Taurus, so I love to wear what I love to wear, and I'm like a painted portrait. And people always like growing up, um, my parents would always be like, "You're like painted in that outfit," because I would wear the same shit over and over and over and over again until like I couldn't wear it anymore. And that's sort of how I like to think about my clothes. Like if I buy something now, it's like how much am I gonna wear this? Like how many times can I wear it? Um, and that's sort of how I make any decision in my life. If TikTok gets banned, I am going to miss the people that I follow on there and sort of like the fashion influencers who I love, who are always showing like great fits and like who like actually care about what they're pushing towards their audience. I feel like because you can just tell. I mean, obviously, like go follow your favorite creator on Instagram or like on wherever they choose to move their platform to after the TikTok ban goes through. Um, but I'm honestly excited though, because I like one prediction that I think that I keep seeing over and over again, and I hope selfishly for my benefit that it does come true, is sort of like the return to people watching long form instead of like short form video. Because I always feel like, I mean, I feel like people my age like typically still like to watch YouTube videos. I feel like it's not as big as it was before, but I feel like there's still a good audience on YouTube. And so I really hope that like in the new year and like just sort of moving forward, people are more interested in like longer form content, whether that it's like written or like video format. And as someone who produces both, I write on Substack and I sort of do this, and I'm a journalist who's like my main medium is like long form writing. I like, it's just one of those things that you hope that like maybe like in its absence, TikTok will leave sort of like a like hunger for people to get like like I feel like it will leave like sort of like a hunger for people to go off and explore new ways to get like to like learn about things that they're interested in and like sort of find like those pieces of content that are gonna engage them. So I guess like to end this episode on a positive note, I really hope that the long form video essay and like people like tune into podcasts more. I don't know. I feel like we do have too many podcasts, guys. Like I will be real. I'm being vulnerable right now. There is too many people with podcasts out there. Like there's too many people who own microphones. And I know that sounds hypocritical of me as I'm sitting in front of you holding a microphone, but I just feel like too many people get online and just say things that make no sense. Like just absolutely zero sense. And I feel like I as a gay man who grew up chronically online, I feel like I have good takes to tell you. And if they're not the best, then at least I'm entertaining in some way and I'm not causing like damage to the mass public. As in, some of these other people who have microphones, these other men who have microphones who are actively destroying our democracy. And I feel like I'm never going to actively destroy our democracy. So just for that alone, I feel like you should subscribe and follow me on Instagram and Bluesky, and follow me on my Substack. I will be posting more on there soon, actually. Big things coming. And yeah, I mean, thank you so much for sort of sticking around and listening to me ramble about things. And yeah, so come back next week for a brand new episode. I think I want to start posting twice a week, but I'm not sure if I could do that. if I have like the mental space for that, but I'm gonna try maybe like in the new year. But as for now, I'll see you next Wednesday, which I think is Christmas. So I will be coming down your chimney and leaving a gift. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.